Good evening, lovers of literature, and welcome back. Or, if you are new to our channel, a warm welcome. We hope you'll stick around for a while. My name is Seraphina, and my job is to translate and share with you narratives in prose and poetry form, found across the many worlds. Today, I have a poem that was discovered on an alternate Earth. It was in the papers, recovered from their Notre Dame Cathedral when it burned, and passed to me by a collector who is an old friend. The poem is about an angel named Arbeth, who forms an unusual bond with a demon named Micah. Because it is quite long, I have divided it into 2 parts. This is part 1. Want to hear the poem? Well, just stick with me. Grab your blankets, footstools, snacks, and drinks, and settle in to find out what happens when angels fall. When Angels Fall. Part 1. The angel stood in the high court of heaven, before her Creator upon his throne. She'd been there before, in the course of duty, but never before had felt so alone. Once, she had been a child of love and laughter. Those eons seemed so very far away. Now that she stood condemned, even the other citizens of heaven had drawn away, fearful of wrath. Arbeth stood small, defenseless, naked in spirit, trembling, for she knew her crime was not hate or lack of faithfulness, but loving an eternal spirit, too. Arbeth loved a demon, not just a demon, but one seen as a leader by his kin. In the dark reaches of the fallen kingdom, treasure and adulation reigned on him. Micah was his name, many, dark and bloody, his sinful deeds. All this young Arbeth knew, but she could not change the yearning of her heart. Unbinding what was bound, she could not do. Arbeth stood trembling, awaiting punishment, wondering if, soon, she would cease to be cast into fire, or have her wings torn off. But for that, she'd not mourn so bitterly. As for the estrangement from her great Father, who'd ever beamed his brightest love on her, she'd have done anything to temper his wrath, but swear falsely. How did this come on her? Well, Arbeth was an angel of the grieving. When honored loved ones, too soon, passed away, and those left behind thought the world a wasteland, an ashen desert penned in shades of gray, Arbeth held their hands, singing softly to them, reminding them of the moments they knew, and that death in faith is forever's disguise, the corruptible exchanged for the new. Micah had been her opposite, her rival. He counseled anger as a sop for pain, enticing those who mourn to rage and cry out, perhaps causing another death again. They might not have spoken one word in passing, had Arbeth not, from sheer exhaustion, swooned and struck her head. She'd opened her eyes, later, to find Micah gently tending her wound. She'd stared in fright, asking, "Why don't you slay me?" But Micah grinned, laughter in his green eyes. "A battle's boring with just one combatant, and you are adorable while surprised." He'd let her go, and she'd sped back to heaven, and reported her brief contact with him. From then on, every time that the foes tangled, Micah left a gift for her behind him. The two began to talk, 2 words and then 3. What they believed, the when and where and why. Until Arbeth found herself lying beside him, upon a mountaintop, beneath the sky. She realized she felt at peace beside him, that her heart was in tune with his, and she wanted nothing more than to be at his side and comfort him throughout eternity. Sadly, heaven is not a place for secrets. Almost as soon as gentle Larbeth knew, her heart given, the host knew of it as well. Now, she could only see what God would do. She'd expected the fall, and so stood upright when condemned, but she gaped in stunned surprise when she heard that, because her gaze had wandered, she would be sent to hell without her eyes. Almost at once, a stone-faced angel approached, a golden dagger raised towards her face. "Father, please," she cried out, "leave me one eye, so from below I still can see your grace." That grace was given, but pain bloomed thereafter. Arbeth wept as tongs plucked out her eye. Then the world dissolved as she fell through darkness. She awoke to sand and a blood-red sky. Micah was there. Young Arbeth reached towards him, wanting comfort, but he pushed her away. She lay on the sand, aching, hurt, and bleeding. Her frame shuddered when she heard Micah say, "Now you are here, and you are mine to torment. I'll keep you here forever as my slave. You have one eye yet to see as I triumph, and easily claim those you'd once have saved." Subscribe to become a delicious darling. Poor Arbeth. Things are not looking good for her. Do you think Micah really had been leading her along, intending to get her damned, so that he could win the conflict between them? Well, we will have to wait until next week to find out. Today's word for the comments is heaven. Type it and tell me what your heaven would look like if you designed it yourself. In the meantime, if you have ever wondered what it's like to be an angel, please click like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. When you do so, you will become an official delicious darling, and will never need to miss an episode again. This week, I am visiting with old friends on Talos, a world that very much resembles the American Old West. I will be staying with a cowboy friend on his ranch. I'm eager to start working with the animals. Until next time, remember to trust where trust is earned, have faith in the people you love most, and sleep well, my delicious darlings.